Welcome to Sai's Thopter Emporium. Hope you're excited. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, I love it. We're going to keep on this one. We have some good protection from Sai. There we go. Get Sai popped back up. We have a way to kind of dig a little bit deeper into our library. Have a free artifact to get down with Sai, and then some other pretty good stuff in the hand, especially something like Favorable Wind. So I will definitely take this one. Let's go and lead off with Halimar Depths. Let's get the Scry, not the Scry going, but the look at the top three cards of our library. Let's see. If there's any certain way we want to shift this around. If we get down... Gravitational Shift, let's go ahead and put that on top first, and let's see if we just can't make our land drops. Let's go and go for Foundry, and then put Seat, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Sai, Master Thopterist, the manager of the Thopter Emporium. Got all the Thopters that you need. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying, then for a 2-mana activation, sacrifice 2 artifacts to draw a card. Let's go ahead and get down Seat. And I think I really like going for getting as many Thopters going. So let's just go and pass the turn. I mean, let's go and get down Lightning Greaves because we want to be able to protect Sai if we can. I'm okay missing out on a Thopter on that one. And then anything else, we'll kick the turn back over there. We're playing against Liliana, the healer. Lifelink, whenever another non-token creature you control dies, exile Liliana, then return her to the battlefield transformed as a Planeswalker, and I'll cover that in a second. Let's go and get down Foundry. Let's go and tap up for Sai and see if this is going to be good. Keep our fingers crossed we can get that Lightning Greaves on there and dodge some sort of spot removal from our opponent. Alright, it's good. Do we want to swing in for 1? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go and swing in for 1. Gonna knock our opponent down to 29, and that will be 1 total commander damage. Okay, and let's go and go for Chromox. Enters the battlefield, exile non-artifact, non-land card from your hand. That's going to put us getting rid of Favorable Winds just to get a token. Do we want to do that just to get down Skull Clamp? Yeah, let's go and do it. Why not? We can draw into a few more stuff. So let's go and go for Chromox. Get that onto the battlefield. We'll get a Thopter going. It would be nice to get Favorable Winds going, but with Skull Clamp, we should be able to start digging into our library a little bit quicker to find another sort of kind of power and toughness bonus for our Thopters. Go and exile Favorable Winds, and let's go and get down Skull Clamp. Alright, that gives us another Thopter, and then anything else, we're going to kick the turn over to our opponent. Now, once our opponent does get a creature to die, they will get Liliana to flip, and it will turn into Liliana Defiant Necromancer. +2, each player discards a card, then for -X, return target non-legendary creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then -8, you get an emblem that says whenever a creature dies, return to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. Opponent's going to get down Liliana, and then we draw into that Gravitational Shift. Let's go and get down Island. Okay, let's go and push in for 2. We can actually get down Thran Dynamo. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll cut us off Gravitational Shift if we wanted to get that down. I think I kind of like going for some Skull Clamp action. Let's go and swing it with 2 Thopters first. Get that combat damage going. Knock them down to 27. And yeah, let's go and go for Skull Clamp. Let's get some good card draw going. Draw 2 cards off of this. Draw 2. Ooh, there we go. Look at that. Let's go and go for another Skull Clamp activation. Okay, and then we draw into Pedium. Let's do this. Let's go and get down Mana Vault. We'll tap down Halimar Depths. That'll give us another Thopter onto the battlefield. And I like going for Pedium. It's going to give our artifacts hexproof, which will definitely protect us from Liliana for any sort of spot removal. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Get down Pedium, and then we still have 1 more mana to go for. We can equip Skull. Yeah, we're going to equip it on there. Why not? Draw a few more cards. Okay, Steel Overseer and Foundry Inspector. All right, now we're getting somewhere. And then we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. Now you can see how explosive this deck is. You know, we're not really running a lot of, it's not like an egg deck or a storm deck where we're looking at getting down at like a ton of artifacts or 0-cost artifacts. You can see where we're just simply just getting some really good value stuff onto the battlefield and getting those Thopters going and drawing a ton of cards. All right, we'll get the Mana Vault trigger, and let's get the Pedium trigger. Draw into Island, and then we'll go and take a damage off this one for right now. Okay, let's go and get down Island, and how do we want to sequence this one? We can go for Timeo if we wanted to. Let's go for Thran Dynamo. This is going to be 1, 2, 3. That's going to give us an additional Thopter on the battlefield. And let's see if we can't build up some sort of Thopter army. Let's get down Foundry Inspector. That's going to be 1, 2, 3 off Thran Dynamo. And let's go and get down Steel Overseer for 1. And let's go and shift the Lightning Greaves over to Steel Overseer. We're going to go ahead and equip one of these Skull Clamp. Yeah, let's do this. Let's get 1 more card draw, and then we'll go in for the Steel Overseer activation. It's going to put a +1 counter on each artifact we control. And then let's go and shift the Lightning Greaves over into one of our Thopters, and let's go and push them for 2. There we go. Look at that. So we get across, we're going to deal 2 damage, put them down to 25. And then definitely shout out to our opponent, because we're definitely chewing up a lot of the clock doing this. Okay, knock them down to 25, then let's go and shift the Lightning Greaves back over onto Psy while they are tapped out, and then we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, this is pretty much what you're going to do, get down some good mana rocks and get those Thopters going. Now this deck really accelerates once you get those Thopters going and get down some sort of power and toughness bonus. So we have stuff like Steel Overseer. One thing that we can get down is going to be something like Gravitational Shift. This is going to give all of our creatures that +2 bonus, and at the same time make sure that those zombies get that -2 to kind of basically negate them. Now the thing we do have to watch out for Liliana, actually excuse me, I was thinking this is the 5 mana Liliana tutor, so we're actually going to be a-okay. I was worried they were going to grab some sort of board wipe off of that. Okay, drawn to duplicate, not going to pay that, no, we're going to take that damage. And then we draw into Ironworks. Let's go and get Island down. Do we want to tap down Liliana? We can swing in with these Thopters. Or actually, we can get another Thopter on the battlefield with Lightning Greaves. Let's go and do that. Ethereum Sculptor is going to cost 1 less. And then let's go and shift the Lightning Greaves over onto that Thopter. Let's go and go for a Steel Overseer activation. And let's go and push in on this one. So we're going to at least have, Liliana does not have Death Touch. No, it does not. Let's send in Foundry Expector. Let's go and swing in the Thopter at Liliana, and this Thopter at our opponent. Do we know swing in with anybody else? No, let's go and swing across with that. Okay, send Liliana back to the command zone, take care of that one zombie too. And then let's see, how do we want to sequence? Let's go and get Lightning Greaves back over onto Psy. And I guess at this point right now, let's go and get on Clearing Ironworks. That way we can at least kind of draw into something that might help us either sacrifice. We do have Nexus of Ugin in here. No, Ugin's Nexus, excuse me. We can get that down to sacrifice it to take an additional turn. And then let's go and get down Tamio. That's going to be 1-2. Okay, opponent's going to scoop it up on this one. You can see how explosive this deck can be, so I'm probably going to splice this onto another video. But basically, once you get down Psy and you really start casting all these artifacts, and you know, a lot of these have really high impact. So you're looking at getting down Skull Clamp for 1 mana, equip it, draw into 2 more cards. You get down something like Foundry Inspector and just really build this board state that's really hard to develop. Not hard to develop, but really hard to deal with unless your opponent has some sort of board wipe. But yes, if you enjoyed your time at Psy's Thopter Emporium, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Psy's Thopter Emporium. Hope you're excited to get some Thopters on the battlefield. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, I like it. We'll keep on this one. We have Halimar Depths. We have at least 4 lands in the hand. Chief Engineer actually help us get some pretty good artifacts on the battlefield. And we do have Tamio. So it'll definitely be good. And our opponent's off to a pretty quick start with Ancient Tomb and Mindstone. Alright, so it's going to lead off with Halimar Depths. Look at the top 3 cards of our library. Since we do have the lands in the hand, let's go and do this. Let's go and put Island on top. Let's go Paradoxical Outcome, and let's go and put Remand on top. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yes, welcome to Psy. Hope you're excited to get the Thopters going. It's always, man, this deck's a lot of fun. We're playing Psy, Master Thopterist. Let's go and get the island down, and I don't mind going for Remand on turn 2, whatever they go for. So we are playing Psy. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. Then for a 2 mana activation, sacrifice an artifact and draw a card. Let's go and go for Remand on that. Go for a nice tempo play. Keep that land off the battlefield. Drawn to Paradoxical, okay. And then I'll cover Obzedat Ghost Council in just a second. Let's go and get down Island. Do you want to go for Psy at this point right now, especially if they're going to be tapping out for Sad Robot again? Yeah, I think I like that. We don't have any artifacts in the hand, but hopefully we'll be getting into those pretty quick. We do have Trophy Mage in the hand, so we can actually grab something like Sword of Feast and Famine to start pushing past our opponent and kind of keep our mana open. We're playing against Obzedat, Ghost Council. Whenever Obzedat enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Then at the beginning of your end step, you may exile Obzedat. If you do, return to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. It gains haste. And Obzedat Ghost Council is Church of Aetherius approved, if you're wondering at home, if you're keeping score. Alright, we do draw into an artifact, so that's good. Let's go and get Island down. How do we want to do this? So we have Paradoxical Outcome. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go and go for Trophy Mage. That puts us online next turn for getting down Sword of Feast and Famine. That's going to allow us to kind of start pushing past our opponent. Now, they do have Sad Robot on the battlefield. That might stop us, but at least having it on the battlefield would be a pretty good option to have. Let's go and get this popped out a little bit bigger. Another thing that we could go for is something like Chief of the Foundry, some sort of tribal lord, but I like Sword of Feast and Famine in this matchup, so I was going to grab that, and then anything else, let's go and pass the turn to our opponent. We could swing in for 1, but Sad Robot would just jump in front of that one, and they're just going to trade punches, and Nothing would happen, so we'll just go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yes, if you missed the deck tech, what are we doing with Sai? This is kind of a value build of Sai. I don't have a ton of zero-cost artifacts or one-drop artifacts. I'm mainly looking to just very slowly start to build up a really nice Thopter army, and then use stuff like I mentioned, Chief of the Foundry, to give all of them +1/+1, and just really take over the board. We do have this one enchantment here. It's a lot of fun. It's Gravitational Pull, I think. Let me see. Check my deck list. Yeah, Gravitational Shift, excuse me. You get that down, and gives all your flying creatures +2, and then no toughness bonus, and it makes all creatures on the ground have -2 over no toughness bonus. So we're going to get down Sword of Feast and Famine. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. That's going to give us another Thopter onto the battlefield, and let's go and put Sword of Feast and Famine onto Sai. Yeah, I think I like that. Maybe they have some sort of spot removal they want to use in response to that one. We'll keep our fingers crossed they don't. Alright, doesn't look like they do. Let's go and swing in with Sai. It's going to be a 3/6 coming across. More than likely we're going to see Sad Robot block, so this is going to give them a card draw. But at least we'll kind of have game for it next turn, swinging across with a 3/6. Then anything else, we'll go and kick the turn to our opponent. But yeah, we also do have Paradoxical Outcome in our hand. Now, we don't really have a lot of mana rocks on the battlefield, but let's say that we do get down stuff like Soul Ring, Mana Crypt, and Mana Vault. That makes for a really, really nice Paradoxical Outcome. You get some really good... Get some Iona action going. Okay, the good thing about Iona being in the graveyard is that we're not going to be able to cast blue spells. It's not the end of the world. This is a really heavy artifact deck, so we can survive that. The only thing is we need to get some really good artifacts going, or at least get some sort of Thopters going. But that is definitely a really easy way to get around that. Now, we do have Sword of Feast and Famine still. It's going to give us protection from black and green, which actually doesn't stop us from Iona. So, don't know why I highlighted that one. Let's go and get down Academy Ruins. Do we want to go for Mere Retriever? Yeah, let's go and do that. Let's get down Mere Retriever. It's going to be 1, 2. That's going to give us another Thopter on the battlefield. At this point right now, hopefully we draw into one of those Tribal Lords. We can still kind of chump block on Iona, as long as we get some sort of more artifacts in the hand to kind of get that card draw going. Let's see, do we want to swing in? No, let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, Iona definitely does shut the deck off. Now, we do have a couple different options. We have something like Duplicant that will allow us to go for a removal on Iona. Each player draws, Unwinding Clock. Okay, let's go and get rid of, at this point right now, I'm going to get rid of Chief Engineer, just in case we can find some sort of answer with Iona unlike that. Now, we do have Duplicant. We also do have the Meteor Golem, so we can get that down to take care of Iona. Those are all going to be colorless options for us to take care of Iona. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that we do draw into that. But at least we did draw into Unwinding Clock. We can go and get that down. But while we do have Iona on the battlefield, it'd be a good time to talk about Commander 18 previews, since we're probably not going to be able to cast much stuff. So let's be a good Commander 18. Ooh, Elish Norn. Okay. that is a two-punch combo against Sai right there. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go to take care of our Thopters. We'll still see if we draw into something else. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that is brutal. All right, opponent's going to be swinging across for 9, and that will put us down to 21. Yeah, I may end up popping in the Commander 18 stuff up here in a second, talking about it. Okay, so we go for Metallic Mimic. That's simply just going to die, and then same thing with Unwinding Clock. Let's go and get down Unwinding Clock. Yeah, I guess technically we don't need it that bad, but it's better than nothing. We don't really have any artifacts to go for either. We could put Mere Retriever on top if we wanted to go for that, but either way we get the Thopter and it's just not going to do much. Yeah, let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent. Let's see if we draw into something, but at this point right now it is not looking that good. But as far as the Commander previews, really excited. There's some really cool, awesome stuff out there. In fact, if you didn't see my preview card, I did one for MTGO Traders, a Loyal Guardian. The Rhino is definitely going to go good in a lot of your counters decks, stuff like Atraxa and Gov. The things that I'm most excited about is going to be the Esper Zombie. I think it's Verena. I don't know how to say the last part, at least that's the German pronunciation of it I'm looking at right now. And basically, whenever she attacks, I think you draw a card for each zombie that's attacking, and then you discard those cards, so it makes for a really nice kind of reanimator deck. Opponent gets down Weather Wayfarer, and we draw into Workshop Assistant. Okay. So they swing it for 9 next turn, that puts us down to 3. Elish Norn swings in, we trump block with Sai. I don't think there's much we could do on this one. It came to our opponent. They really hit us really hard with Iona and the Elish Norn off that. So that is definitely... I've recorded a lot of really quick games with Sai. And so you end up with these games where you get a ton of Thopters on the battlefield and you kind of take it over really quickly. But you get down to Iona and Elish Norn, that's definitely a really good way to take care of Sai. But yeah, I'm definitely excited about the Esper Zombie one. I can't wait to get Lord Windgrace going. It's going to be the Jund Cat Dragon. Not Cat Dragon, but the cat. I was thinking of Wasitor off that one. And then the Esper Planeswalker. I'm excited about her, but like one of my biggest things that I'm scared of is like little kids in horror movies. And so it's like, I don't know if like that fear, I don't know if I can record it. I'll probably end up recording a deck with her, but I'm not going to enjoy it because I hate little kids scary movies. But anyways, that's enough rambling. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.